it's pretty obvious the NFL has been taken over by a new generation of quarterbacks. Sure, 37-year-old Matthew Stafford has just as good a chance as anybody to win the MVP. And 29-year-old reigning MVP Josh Allen is out here just setting NFL records. But the future is now, old man. You don't need to look any further than the NFL standings. The leader in the AFC, the leader in the NFC, and the top three teams in all of football have one thing in common. They're all led by a quarterback from the 2024 draft class. The Broncos now have the best record in the NFL. They held off those pesky Washington R words, a team that made the NFC Championship game just a year ago, led by, yes, a quarterback from the 2024 NFL draft class. To take the mantle for having the best record in the NFL, they had to go through Jaden Daniels, and they're led in large part by Bo Nix, just another guy from that 2024 draft class. It's all over the place. Now, Nix was obviously not one of the consensus top three quarterbacks in the draft. In fact, he was the sixth one picked. And he was only drafted 12th overall. Like, all he did last year was lead the Broncos to the playoffs for the first time in almost a decade since Peyton Manning was the quarterback. And he's thrown 47 TD passes in his NFL career. He's not even through 2 full seasons yet. Does he have the ceiling as high as the other guys that were taken over him in that draft? Probably not. Probably not. But ceiling's looking pretty damn good. Would you take him over Michael Penix? Would you take him over Cam Ward, the number one pick the next year? I think a lot of people would have taken him out of college over Cam Ward, not just right now. So, best team in the NFL, record-wise, hottest team outside of the New England Patriots is Denver. They've got the defense to hang with anybody in the league, but Bo Nix has been taking care of the football and leading them to victories. Best team in the league, record-wise. How about the best team in the NFC? Yeah, the Chicago Bears. Shockingly, the Chicago Bears. Should I say shockingly because it looked like they had so much to correct last year. But here they sit, first place in the NFC, 8-3. Now, what's surprising the most is I haven't heard anything about them playing a last place schedule. Has Cam Newton gone on any faux tirades on why the Bears aren't all they're cracked up to be? Are they middle of them all, Cam? The argument's stupid anyway. They're 9-3, and Caleb Williams is kind of taking the steps he didn't take last year with Matt Eberflus, whatever the hell that Bears offensive line was. After he got sacked 68 times last year, that number's down to just 19, albeit with 6 games left on the schedule. Can he get sacked another 49 times? Who knows? He's not been dramatically better statistically, Caleb Williams. In fact, his completion percentage is worse than it was last year, and everything else is just kind of minor incremental upgrades. But when the money's been on the table, he's looked like a burgeoning franchise quarterback. He leads the league with 5 fourth-quarter comebacks this year. 5 of them. 5 of their 9 wins, fourth-quarter comebacks led by him. 5 touchdowns and just 1 pick in the fourth quarter all year. He is not deer in the headlights anymore. Clearly, Ben Johnson has unlocked something in Caleb Williams. Because remember, this was a team when he was drafted that was kind of ready to win now, right? They picked Adunze, obviously, in the top 10 as well. They had the run game. They had Cole Kmet. They had veteran guys on that side of the ball. It looked like that team was ready to compete for a playoff spot last season. And they stunk. And now you get a real competent coach in here ripping his shirt off in the locker room. And Caleb Williams all of a sudden looks like a franchise quarterback. Because if you had done a redraft midway through last year, he might have been the 4th quarterback off the board. And he's not the best, but he looks like he'd be taken in that top 3 again. I'll just say that. And it's worth noting that the guy who was the offensive rookie of the year last year in this 24 quarterback draft class, Jaden Daniels, has been in and out of the lineup this year. So who knows what he looks like after another healthy season. But of course, we can't talk about this draft class without Drake May. As good as it gets, man. We all know about Drake May here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart, okay? He's the thing I was most thankful for when it was my turn at the Thanksgiving table. If Matthew Stafford is not the MVP of the league, then Drake May certainly is. And he has been the story of the NFL so far. Even though, sorry, the Broncos actually have the best record in the league. Patriots have won 9 in a row. They hadn't played this week until tonight, right? And if you look at every major statistical category, there is Drake May. He's third in the league in passing yards. He's top of the league in completion percentage of actual starting quarterbacks. He's 21-6 in his touchdown to pick ratio. He's got the highest average of any starting quarterback yards per throw outside of Sam Darnold. The kid is slinging it. He's the best deep ball thrower in the league. And he has taken a team that won 8 games in the previous 2 seasons to winning 9 in their last 9 games. He is the real deal, as you've heard all season long. He has been that dude. You're looking for the future of the league? Look no further than Drake May, who could be the future right now, could win the MVP this year, could have the number 1 seed in the AFC this year. But no matter who gets it in the AFC, it's basically down to 2 teams, and either one, both of them, will have selected their quarterback in the 2024 NFL draft class. Am I ready to put it up there with some of the greatest of all time? Yeah, it's probably tough to do. Was that 83 or 84? Was Marino and Elway? That's pretty good. And Tony Eason, by the way. That was pretty good. But this 24 draft class looks like it is going to make a nice push for that with these 3 guys we highlighted, plus Jaden Daniels. Now, what's funny is, one of the prized recruits of that class, one of the prized players of that, quarterbacks of that draft class, has been one of the worst in the league this year. J.J. McCarthy, 9, has stunk. He's been terrible. And Michael Penix is just, he's just kind of there. The team stinks, and they're not going in the right direction. But Michael Penix is, when Kirk Cousins is out there, they lose to the Jets. So that I guess goes to show you his worth. But this 24 quarterback class, this could be the one that we're talking about for a long, long time. Like, does anybody think Drake May is going to slow down? Does anybody think Jaden Daniels is going to slow down when he's healthy? Sure, the ceiling's lower on Bo Nix and those other 2, but I mean, are there 20 teams that would say, yeah, I'd rather take Bo Nix than the quarterback I have right now? I think so. Maybe 25. Who knows? This is going to be the class that everyone's writing about. And it is cool to see the future kind of unfurling in front of our eyes. I think that's always overblown a bit too much. We're hearing a lot about it in the NHL right now. It happens. Man, there's always a passing of the torch. But what's interesting about the NFL and how much onus we put on the quarterback position, how much importance that is to teams that win in this league, it's fascinating to see if someone from this draft class is going to take that next step, winning. We saw Jaden Daniels playing in the NFC Championship game last year. Bo Nix and Drake May have shots to play in the Super Bowl this year. They really do. And Caleb Williams does too. I think the AFC is a little bit more wide open. I don't think the Bears can beat the Eagles, but all 3 of those guys have a shot to play in the Super Bowl this year. In year 2, after a rookie last year was within 1 win of the Super Bowl. Are we then talking about that being one of the most loaded quarterback draft classes of all time? I think we are. So let's check back in 2.5 months here and see what we're saying about this 2024 NFL draft quarterback class. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we come at you live every weekday, noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart.